Greetings from Swamps, I'm Andy, and today we're going to take a look at the Return of Marvel Legends Thor. I have to say I really like the packaging on the new Marvel Legends. The font and halftone fade they use really looks good. And when you flip it around on the back, it really evokes a comic book cover feel. Thor's from the Terrax series, the only one not to come with a Build-A-Figure piece. And if I had to fault it for anything, this one-sentence blurb really doesn't do it for me. I miss the days where they used to have a full bio and stats in the back. So here we have the son of Odin in all his glory. When I personally think about Thor, two things pop in my mind instantly. My comic book shop is right next to my Taekwondo class, so afterwards I went over there and issue number 475 with the foil cover was sitting on the shelf. And the Hammer of Doom really just stuck out amongst all the other books. Admittedly, I was never a big fan of Thor, but that was the first issue that I picked up, strictly based on the cover. The second would be Adventures in Babysitting with Vincent D'Onofrio playing the Thor-like character. I love that freaking movie. I really dig this head sculpt. The silver helmet with the dry wash over it, the little wings coming off the side have really nice detail, pretty stoic face, and the hair has some really nice detail all the way around. Even though his head's on a ball joint, you can only kind of tilt it a little bit. The hair, surprisingly, doesn't get in the way of doing a full 360 around, so if you put him in a flight pose, he can't really look up like he needs to. I like the creases that they put into his garb, and there's some really nice painted detail. The amount of sculpting that went into this is really awesome. Hasbro did a really good job with the paint. Some really nice dry brushing all around. I mean, if you look at that belt, just look at that little detail. It just makes it pop so much more. His cape's got this little pattern into it that I really dig. And the way it flows coming off his back, the angle, is really nice touch. And you can see all the little lines that they put into it. His arm's got the pretty standard articulation that you would expect. No double jointed elbow, but this still works pretty decently. And the hand can swivel as well as bend back and forth. He doesn't have a waist, but right here at the upper abdomen, he's got that crunch to it as well as the tilt back and forth. And I like it because it helps hide the articulation. And even though you break up the lines whenever you turn it, it doesn't look too bad. That great detail carries on down to the legs. And let's face it, these boots would make any Renaissance fan jealous. The typical leg articulation that you would expect by now. He does have a double jointed knee and it's hidden pretty well by this little piece coming off the boot. There's some really nice detail in there as well. His feet don't have an ankle pivot, but they can go up and down as well as spin. Holes on the bottom of his feet. If we take a look at his Hammer of Doom, you can see all the little detail that they sculpted into the handle, as well as the hammerhead itself. Really nice paint job. I think they really outdid themselves with this figure. Even though the character of Thor might not be on everyone's palette, anyone who is a fan of Marvel Legends will be delighted at the taste that this figure leaves. I'm on board and enjoying the ride what Hasbro has to offer for these new Marvel Legends. The paint and sculpting on every square inch of these figures are done in such a superb way that it helps bring new life to these old characters. Marvel Legends, Terrax series, Thor. Gosh darn, he's good.